Hi, I'm Sarah from The Upcoming. A real pleasure to be here with you in Cannes. Huge congratulations on this beautiful, moving film. For people who haven't seen Homebound yet, can you give us a brief intro? What can they expect when they come to watch it?
Without saying much, it's a human story. It's the story of young people in northern India and the way that they navigate their lives through the world as it is today, becoming an increasingly divisive place, and the social reforms and structures that act as obstacles in their path to live a dignified life. But essentially, it's a story of two friends and their journey and their spirit.
I think obviously he covered it all, but in few words, I would like to uh, tell you that this film talks about friendship, love, aspiration, goals, struggle, poverty, understanding your life, struggle, and I think accepting who you are. And it talks about privilege also. So I think in few words, I think I've covered almost everything.
Well, I think if I may say so myself, I think it's an incredibly moving piece of art that encourages the viewer to introspect and reflect on themes like the ones that they mentioned, to analyze social hierarchy and invisible systems that often are set in place, and we can we're sometimes the perpetrators of or at the receiving end of these systems that sort of enforce these hierarchies. So I think it deals with those themes. It deals with themes of friendship and love, like he said, of ambition, of identity. And I've just realized that I'm essentially repeating everything that my co-actors said and trying to look for fancier words to say the same thing, but they covered it pretty well.
And when I was speaking to the director earlier, I think he was saying it comes from a very personal place for him because he's had to repress his identity in the past because he felt like if people knew what caste he was from, that he would be judged. So why might it have been important to you or appealing to you to show this unrepresented group of people on screen?
When I signed on to the film, someone asked me why. I guess in conventional terms, it's not your typical mainstream commercial Bollywood film. So I guess they just wondered why I chose to do it. And then I told them it was because it was incredibly personal to me. And well, they didn't get it. They said that doesn't make any sense. You come from a place of privilege. You're not from this community. Why is it personal to you? But I think that the fight for equality should be personal to everyone. I think it's the need of the hour. I think it's a universal problem. I think there's systems in place all around the world where you're judged based on your caste, creed, religion, your social economic strata, the color of your skin, who you choose to love, how you choose to love. And I think that the overall umbrella message is to somehow find a way to eradicate judgment and to see ways in which you can empathize. So this conditioning that's instilled in us to sort of be victims of the system that makes you feel like there are only a few deserving of respect, and then you dehumanize an entire section of people based on your own conditioning. I think this movie sort of invites you to introspect, to reflect on such attitudes, and I think that's the need of the hour. I think I'm personally very invested in putting that message out and going on that journey myself. I feel like the process of this film has sort of made me hopefully a more responsible citizen of society.
And it definitely, I think, humanises what can often be represented as statistics in the news and the media. So is that also part of the appeal for you?
I think that in a larger sense, the film speaks to anybody that has felt invisible in their lives. And it also reveals some of the invisible fault lines in society that lead to a social repression, can often lead to a self-repression. And I think you see that in a very intimate way in this film. And like Vishal said, it's as much about accepting who you are as it is about representing a certain section in society and giving them a voice. So I think there are very universal themes to this film, despite the fact that it is very detailed and specific. Yeah.
I also love
And like you said, absolutely, I think the central goal of the film was to humanize what can often just become a number. And I think the goal behind putting a magnifying glass to these characters was that when you hear a number, it's much easier to kind of overlook the million dreams that die with a single person, But when you kind of put a magnifying glass to any one person, you realize how personal it should be to everybody. And I think that was the attempt. And I think we had a wonderful filmmaker who put a lot of thought and effort and research into fleshing these characters out so they feel like real life human beings.
And I think what I love about the film as well is that right at the center of it is this incredible friendship, and it feels kind of like an ode to male friendship. So despite, putting a spotlight on the struggles these characters are facing, and even between the two of them, this tension, underneath it there's a deep love, and it also embraces these moments of joy and beauty despite them being in what can seem quite a bleak context.
Yes, I agree. I mean, while I think this, the central relationship is the fulcrum of the film, it's an extraordinary relationship. It's still not uncommon. And I think that is the beauty of our society. And I think that they're able to lean in on each other in such a beautiful way. And that's really what moved me about it.
Yeah, because this film talks about friendship and loyalty also, because this is what you see everywhere. There are two people, they can connect to each other because of the circumstances they have faced in their life are similar, and they can relate to each other. Maybe they were 2-3 boys in the school, and they were not heard. They were ignored. And I think Shoaib and Chandan would be one of those 2-3 boys, and they could connect to each other, and they become a good friend. So I think this is also reflection of our society, not only in India but in whole world, globally. You'll see such kind of people, and I think this is what we are showing in the film.
Just very quickly, one sentence, what does it mean to you to have the film here in Cannes and have this incredible platform bringing your movie to an international audience?
Yeah, I feel very blessed. This is the only word I can search for. I feel really grateful. I never thought in my dreams also that I would be sitting here and giving interviews like this for my film, which is screened in Cannes Film Festival. And this is a blessing. This was not my dream, but I think people have manifested this for me, and I'm living their dream. And I'm so happy that I'm here today.
No, like he said, it's been an absolute blessing. I think, I was talking about this before, just to be in a room of, I think it was 1,500 people yesterday, and to experience what we intended for them to experience, through our film, and to feel that energy that was palpitating through the entire hall, where they were so moved by what we did and the way that both of them performed and what Neeraj sir made. I think that's what cinema stands for. And it was just an amazing moment to be in a room full of sobbing people. It was wonderful.
Like they said, I mean, it's a dream realized. I don't think we could have found a better first audience. I think it was just so wonderful to see a film that we're all so proud of collectively connect in such a beautiful way with a large audience. It's a great beginning to our journey, and I really hope that this story resonates with people all over the world.
I'm sure it will. Thank you so much for sharing all that with me. Huge congratulations on this beautiful film, and really enjoy the rest of the time in Cannes. Thank you.
Thank you.